Neckzilla's new physique should be illegal, cause he's so big he looks like he's been photoshopped on the stage in his recent competition, and he makes every other bodybuilder look like a little kid compared to him.
Imagine stepping on stage for the first time ever, and this right here is your competition. I would quit bodybuilding after that.
Which has gotten everyone wondering how big this jacked up beast really is. With his comical massive neck, massive frame, and picture-perfect conditioning, Rubiel Mosquera, aka Neckzilla, is taking over the internet after dropping one of the most insane side-by-side comparisons anyone's ever seen, to the point where everyone's asking if it's even legal for him to be on stage less than half his size. And if you think it's just camera angles, you'd be dead wrong, because this guy makes even Larry Wheels look small.
He was well over 300 pounds. I had a brief experience at 136 kg for 2 weeks. I couldn't handle it. This guy just walks around like that all year round for the most part.
He's got a neck that's bigger than some people's entire torso, which give him some of the most unique measurements any bodybuilder has ever had. But here's the problem. You see, a lot of people think Neckzilla's physique is just way too absurd for him to win any competitions.
The guy's neck, it looks absolutely ridiculous. To me, it looks almost too ridiculous.
Because there's not a competitor out there with a build like this. And the fact that it's so unique and asymmetrical was one of the main reasons experts thought Neckzilla didn't have a bright future in bodybuilding. Not to mention the fact that last year, the guy was barely prepping for shows and putting in the work to make it big.
Neckzilla is just one of the most inconsistent guys that we're seeing in the pro league right now. And the fact of the matter is, Neckzilla is killing his career by not being consistently ready for these shows.
But now that he's prepping for new shows, it looks like he's out for blood and ready to become the face of modern bodybuilding. Although what makes this whole thing even crazier is his insane transformation, where he grew almost 3 times in size.
This is what he looked like 7 years ago. 7 years. I don't think you guys realize how crazy it is to put on this much muscle in just 7 years.
Now, it goes without saying, people don't even bother accusing him of being juiced up because of the insane muscle mass he's put on. But let's be real, no amount of gear is ever going to give someone that much muscle without some hard work and golden genetics. And now everyone's practically dying to see him up on the Olympia stage.
He's also one of the guys with some of the most promise out there for where we can see someone actually place on that Olympia stage.
But will his disproportionate look make it hard for him to become Mr. Olympia, or is he just redefining what it really means to look like a jacked up beast? Sam Sulek's new plans are about to shock the fitness community. He's itching to win his next show and just promised fans he'd blow it out of the park.
I can guarantee I'll be bigger and leaner than last time.
You see, Sam just got invited to compete at the Arnold Classic next year, and it's going to be his first competition as an IFBB pro. Except it's not a walk in the park, and his physique might just be considered pathetic compared to the people he's going up against, and he knows this.
Literally greatest classic bodybuilders that there are right now, and then I'll be there too. So that's a real show of like, okay, what am I working with?
We're talking about people like Ramon Dino or Mike Sommerfeld, who some experts think are in a totally different league from Sam. In fact, Coach Greg even said that Sam's so far behind compared to these guys that he's not even going to be making it to next year's Olympia.
He's not going to beat Mike Sommerfeld. He's not even going to get to the Olympia.
Except Sam just confirmed that he's going to be on the big stage next year, and fans don't know what to expect or whether he's even ready, because beating amateurs isn't the same as trying to beat the best of the best. But even though Sam's just 23 years old, his physique might be better than most IFBB pros. And that's all because he had a serious advantage growing up.
I think being super active as a kid helped.
He wasn't just active, he was a gymnast and a swimmer, which explains why Sam's muscle maturity and density are so jaw-droppingly good. However, the whole reason people are calling him out for his new plans has to do with the fact that just a few weeks ago, Sam was asked about his thoughts on bodybuilding, and he tried to act as nonchalant as possible.
When I'm working at arms, I'm not thinking like, okay, I need to be a little bit bigger so that I can beat this guy on stage.
Which is totally insane, because this guy lives and breathes the gym. So fans don't know why he's trying to act like he doesn't want the glory, especially since Sam went as far as to say that this wasn't even his main goal when he got into bodybuilding and hopped on crazy cycles to get superhumanly jacked.
He was always on the list, but it wasn't like the point, especially not in the beginning. For me, I'm like, I just want to get big.
But now that he's finally going to go up against seasoned veterans, things could be looking different for Sam, because if he isn't able to go muscle for muscle with the guys at Arnold, a lot of people are going to be disappointed, and his status as C-Bum's replacement goes down the drain. But what do you think? Is Sam Sulek annoying when he's nonchalant about competing, or is he just trying to be humble? This guy is Chris Bumstead's biggest nightmare. He's only 24, has a picture-perfect physique, and has already ranked in Mr. Olympia's top 4. But now he's coming for the big sharks.
Urs Kalisinski is going to be dethroning Chris Bumstead.
And even though he's already won several other shows, Urs Kalisinski is going to take it to another level this time, because he just took the biggest risk of his career and switched from classic physique to open. And now he thinks he's going to take home the prize.
Sounds crazy to say, but I think it's going to be possible to win an Olympia title in the open class.
The craziest part is that he might be right, because what a lot of people don't know is that Urs was being held back the entire time he was competing in classic. And that's all because of the weight cap, which meant he sometimes had to lose up to 55 pounds just to qualify.
275 pounds. Remember, this guy, he has to cut down for classic physique. What is it, 230?
220.
Which is even more insane once you realize what a wild transformation he's had, where he went from looking respectably lean to looking like a jacked up freak. But given the fact that Urs finally gets to compete at his naturally bigger size, he might cause one of the biggest upsets at this year's Olympia. He's got delts that pop out like crazy, he's got a picture-perfect V-taper physique that stuns the crowd wherever he goes, and to top it all off, this guy can peak at up to 300 pounds of conditioned muscle. And experts think that as long as he can maintain this exact same conditioning while he continues putting on more muscle, he might just dominate on stage. But there are levels to this stuff, and it gets even more intense, because even exercise scientists can't help but praise how perfectly Urs does things in the gym.
That was an excellent set. Great control on the concentric big push, big resistance on the eccentric, full range of motion for a deep stretch every time.
In fact, he was so good that when he started competing, while C-Bum was still around, everyone was sure that if anyone's gonna dethrone Chris, it's gonna be Urs.
The guy is absolutely shredded. He has cross-riding glutes top to bottom and is looking to make an upset and dethrone Chris Bumstead.
And it's for the same reasons everyone thinks he's gonna stun the crowds this year. He's perfectly symmetrical and just has the kind of physique most men can't sculpt, no matter how much time they spend in the gym, even if they're Chris Bumstead.
And so as we see Urs go through the poses, you can quickly see that Urs is better in the lower body than Chris. Urs has better quadricep development, bigger calves, and extreme definition.
But what do you think? Is Urs Kalisinski the next big thing in bodybuilding? And is he going to be bigger than Sam Sulek?
I'll kill you all!
This bodybuilder was mocked by his rivals on stage, but the craziest part is what he did to them next. Before Ronnie came along, bodybuilding was about balance, symmetry, and presentation. Then he arrived, a walking tank carved with freakish precision and raw power. His physique wasn't just big, it was otherworldly. From the moment he stepped on stage, every other bodybuilder knew one thing: this was the man to fear. Born in Monroe, Louisiana in 1964, Coleman possessed genetics that seemed almost unfair. By his teens, he was already stronger and denser than men twice his age. He pursued college football and later earned a degree in accounting, but success didn't come easily. Before fame, he worked as a pizza delivery man, living off leftovers and chasing a dream that few believed in. Fate intervened when he joined the Arlington, Texas police force in 1989. His massive frame was already turning heads, but what happened next was destiny. A friend from the force introduced him to Metroflex Gym, a gritty haven for serious lifters. Within its walls, Coleman's transformation began. He trained harder, lifted heavier, and grew into something extraordinary, an athlete who who seemed part human, part machine. His rise in bodybuilding was steady, but relentless. For years, he competed in shows without much attention, quietly perfecting himself. Despite winning medals at various competitions, his goal never changed: to conquer Mr. Olympia. His early Olympia attempts were humbling: 16th, 15th, 11th, 6th, 9th positions between 1992 and 1997. No one expected him to ever win. Then came the moment that changed everything: the 1998 Mr. Olympia. Few thought he could win. The favorites were seasoned legends like Flex Wheeler and Nasser El Sanbadi. But when Coleman took the stage, his physique eclipsed them all. The crowd saw something terrifyingly perfect: enormous muscle volume paired with razor-sharp conditioning. When his name was announced as champion, the bodybuilding world stood in disbelief. That night, a new king was crowned, and his reign would become the most dominant in history. Over the next 8 years, Coleman would crush every opponent who stood beside him. Fellow competitors were so terrified by his physique that they worked twice as hard to try to beat him. Yet for 8 long years, all tried and all failed. His body defied anatomy: arms wider than torsos, legs that looked like industrial pillars, and a back so dense it seemed almost alien. He became a walking monument to strength, a living warning of how far the human body could be pushed. His training videos became legendary. Fans watched in awe as he squatted and deadlifted 800 pounds like it was routine. For Coleman, lifting wasn't just a sport, it was survival. Every rep was war, every workout a battle to maintain supremacy. His workouts left even elite lifters humbled, and his sheer mass made others question if they were even in the same species. Competitors admired him, but feared him too. Standing next to Coleman on stage meant facing a wall of muscle that made even professional athletes look small. His combination of size, strength, and conditioning shattered every standard. With each new title, the legend grew, and the line between human achievement and physical obsession began to blur. But power always demands a price. Behind the dominance, Coleman's body was deteriorating. Years of squatting and lifting extreme weights tore through his spine and joints. The man who once walked like a tank began to struggle with movement due to injuries. Multiple back surgeries followed, each one attempting to fix the damage from years of self-imposed torture. Still, Coleman never stopped. Even as pain consumed him, he kept training. The same willpower that once made him unstoppable wouldn't allow him to rest. Today, he walks with crutches, sometimes confined to a wheelchair, but his presence remains as intimidating as ever. His muscles may no longer move the same way, but the aura of strength surrounding him hasn't faded. Coleman isn't just remembered as an 8-time Mr. Olympia. He's remembered as the man who embodied the extreme edge of human potential, a bodybuilder who turned discipline into obsession, power into punishment, and victory into sacrifice. His name became a benchmark that no one could surpass. Every bodybuilder who steps on stage today still measures himself against the shadow of Coleman, the man who built the most terrifying body in history. To this day, his legacy serves as both inspiration and warning.
This guy only trains one arm and the results are shocking. One arm looks like he's Superman and the other looks like he hasn't stepped foot in a gym once in his life. But behind this crazy looking physique is a tragic story, because Jackson Schop doesn't do this for clicks. He had a life-changing accident where the nerve in his left arm got torn right off, and now he can never train it.
The reason my arm looks like this because it was paralyzed in a snowmobile accident.
And now it just looks like someone photoshopped Hulk's arm onto a normal guy. But the craziest part is that he didn't let this injury stop him, because despite being paralyzed, Jackson ended up going on stage and competing with other bodybuilders, becoming one of the first paralyzed men to do so. Except it just isn't enough for him, because even he knows how insane the physique looks to most.
The thing that just sucks is at the end of the day, I'm just like, I still look like freaking Quagmire, man.
But here's where it gets even crazier. You see, Jackson's not the only man with a strange physique, because the Crooked Man recently went viral for having the same look, except people are starting to hate him since, unlike Jackson, he doesn't have a disability, a medical issue, or an accident that changed his life. He just spent 180 days straight training one side of his body to go as viral as possible.
I don't want people to say, wow, that's a nice pretty physique. I want people to say, what the f?
And the reason people are so pissed is because Jackson hates looking like this and would do anything to not have to train one arm, while the Crooked Man is out here doing it just for clout.
It's a real mental block when you look at yourself and you just can never look how you actually want to look.
Which just doesn't sit well with audiences who think he's ruining his health for no reason, since the guy basically gave himself scoliosis. But he's not letting the hate slide and clapped back at the haters, saying he's still better than most.
To everyone telling me I'm ruining my health for views, let's not get confused here. I'm still more healthy than you. A lot of hypocrites on my page. I don't know.
The best part is that this whole thing gives you some serious perspective on Jackson Schop, because the recovery he made is absolutely insane, going from a near fatal accident to having an impeccable physique, because despite training only one side of his body, he's toned, jacked, and conditioned like a pro, which means nobody else has an excuse to skip out on going to the gym.
I just recently competed my first bodybuilding show ever, and it's just kind of surreal and crazy how far you can come.
So what do you think? Could Jackson have been a serious contender as a pro bodybuilder if he didn't have a paralyzed arm? Or is he already making waves in the bodybuilding scene after just training for 3 years?
This man has the most incredible physique on earth right now. He's a mass of muscle, so huge and so powerful, he makes even the strongest men look tiny.
His arms are literally the size of a muscular person's legs.
You see monsters in the gym all the time, but this guy makes all of them look weak. 26-inch arms, 22-inch forearms, and a chest so massive it looks like it's about to explode.
I think he's a goddamn freak. If he was sitting next to me, I'd look like somebody's little freaking brother.
And what's even crazier, he's not just big, he's crazy flexible, crazy strong, and crazy explosive. He can crank out hundreds of reps like he's made of carbon fiber, do clean pull-ups at a weight most men can't even deadlift, and jump off the ground with a power that should be physically impossible for a human that size. But here's the part nobody sees coming. This Hulk wasn't always a beast. He was sick, weak, and told by doctors that even exercising could kill him. So, how did a fragile kid grow up to look like a real-life Hulk? Andre Smayat was born in Russia, and from day one, doctors told him his heart wasn't normal. They warned him that he shouldn't exercise, that any intense physical activity could be dangerous, even fatal. Most people would accept their limits, but he didn't. Instead, he walked out that freezing Russian winter, grabbed the metal bars outside, and started training calisthenics.
When we was in middle school, we trained in -34.
That doesn't just build gym muscle, it builds real, functional survival strength. He did front levers like he was weightless. He has been filmed clearing over 3 meters in a standing explosive leap. And he pulled off one-arm chin-ups at a body weight most men can't even squat.
One-arm chin-ups at any weight is amazing. He did it while weighing 330 pounds. How is that even possible?
Calisthenics didn't just make him strong, it made him athletic, explosive, and built his body from the inside out. That's why when he finally touched weights, he didn't lift like a normal bodybuilder. He lifted like a machine. But here's the part that drives fitness gurus crazy. Smayat doesn't follow science. He doesn't believe in full range of motion, or perfect form, or any of the rules that the fitness industry swears by. While experts argue about angles and tempos, he just lifts until his muscles can't move no more.
And I do on each arm 1,050 reps.
Smayat lifts with tiny, limited ranges of motion that most trainers would call wrong. He even claims to eat 10,000 calories a day. And if that wasn't enough, he hammers his big muscle groups multiple times a week.
He was doing 300 kg bench. That's 661 pounds, 3 times a week.
With almost no recovery at all. Call him crazy if you want, but the results speak for themselves. His arms are so massive, he actually uses knee straps on his elbows, because his arms are literally the size of a muscular person's legs.
His chest is also grotesque. This is just absolutely wild stuff.
Andre Smayat is just 27 years old, and he already looks like a walking titan. If he avoids major injuries, keeps any enhancements under control, and maybe adds a little science to his training, he could be the next evolution of what a human body can become. People disrespected his wife, but he did something that made everyone eat their words and rush to apologize.
It's an insult to me and my family, and be disrespected so badly to humiliate us, and you should be ashamed of yourself for doing that.
Samson Dauda is best known as the Nigerian Lion, and he's the only bodybuilder who's had the guts to call out Sam Sulek's training style to his face.
Why are you pushing so heavy? I don't like it. Remember, it's one thing to powerlift, it's another thing to bodybuild.
They were doing some chest training when he noticed Sam was lifting heavier than he should. He called them out right away, saying that lifting like that could be hurting his gains.
You gotta understand, man, you're not using the muscle you're supposed to be using. You're concerned too much about lifting so heavy that you're not actually pushing your chest out of it.
And when you see them posing, it's clear why Sam Sulek listens to him. Samson is massive, but despite all his huge size, he still couldn't snag the Mr. Olympia title, even after 10 years of prep.
To see every time you do a show and it's like you go home empty-handed, it's extremely disheartening.
So when he announced he was gonna have his wife coach him, people couldn't stop laughing. They mocked him, made fun of her, and threw around some harsh comments.
Please stop, and just use common sense, please. As a man, you want to tear down the world and explode and go to town and rip people's head off.
No one could believe that a woman who wasn't even in shape could coach someone to win the most prestigious award. And many fitness influencers made videos criticizing them. The stress got so bad that he even thought about quitting the sport because it was affecting his health.
When I was like, you know what, this is my last year, I ain't gonna do this again.
Guess what? 2020 was the worst year ever because of the pandemic. He had to shut everything down and almost lost all hope. But just when he was about to give it up, he decided to give it one last shot with his wife as his coach.
His wife coached him to the Olympia stage and he won Mr. Olympia this year. Let that sink in. That is the first female coach to get a Mr. Olympia in an open division.
Samson Dauda!
But what did his wife do that transformed Samson into the best open bodybuilder in the world? First of all, Marlena is the one who convinced him to get into bodybuilding in the first place.
So she got me into it. She noticed when nobody knew because I was really skinny as a child.
She is also a nutritionist and a former competitive athlete, so she knows the training inside and out. But bodybuilding is about so much more than just lifting heavy weights. You see, most bodybuilders can crush it at the gym, but they often struggle at home. The mental stress is real, and this is where Marlena makes the difference. She takes care of everything: his meals, his clothes, his calorie cuts, everything.
I don't really count my calories. I don't really count my proteins or anything. My wife does it all.
Having his wife as his coach is like having a personal trainer 24/7, and that made all the difference.
This is an apology video to Marlena, who did coach her husband to the 2024 Mr. Olympia title.
What does it take to become one of the largest bodybuilders in the world? Meet the athletes who redefine strength. Noah Steer. With a towering 6'6" frame and weighing around 340 pounds, Noah Steer is known for his massive size and relaxed attitude. His arms measure 23 inches, and his thighs are equally impressive. Once a competitor in Arnold events, he now runs Noah's Nutrition, training 6 days a week. Craig Golias. Known as Goliath, Craig Golias stands 6'3" and weighs 350 pounds. He started bodybuilding in his early 20s, inspired by the massive physiques in fitness magazines. Over the years, he built a shredded and muscular body, gaining nearly 500,000 Instagram followers. Now focused on coaching others online, Golias shares his knowledge. Hassan Mustafa. Egyptian bodybuilder Hassan Mustafa has gained recognition for his massive physique, particularly his arms, legs, back, and chest. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall and with a net worth of $1 million, Mustafa trains with a high-frequency split, targeting different muscle groups each day. Greg Kovach. Niagara Falls, Canada, was home to Greg Kovach, a man who truly redefined strength and size. Standing 6 4 inches and weighing 420 pounds, his 25-inch arms, 70-inch chest, and 35-inch legs were a sight to behold. Kovach earned his IFBB Pro card in 1996 and graced the cover of Flex magazine in 1997. Marcus Rule. Born in Germany on February 22, 1972, Marcus Rule quickly became known for his massive size and muscle strength. Standing at 5 feet 10 inches, his chest measures an impressive 60 inches, while his biceps stretch 26 inches. He started training at 19 after a knee injury, eventually turning professional. Ilya Golem. Standing at 6 feet 1 inch and weighing 350 pounds, Ilya Golem, also known as the Mutant, was a true powerhouse. With a 61-inch chest and 25-inch arms, he set the bar for size and strength. Known for his incredible lifts, 600-pound bench presses and 700-pound deadlifts, Golem became a legend in the fitness world. Lou Ferrigno. In Brooklyn, New York, Lou Ferrigno was born on November 9, 1951. With a towering height of 6 feet 5 inches and weighing over 285 pounds in his prime, he gained fame in bodybuilding. Ferrigno earned major titles and competed against Arnold Schwarzenegger. His portrayal of the Incredible Hulk made him a household name. Rich Piana. Richard Eugene Piana, born September 26, 1971, was a standout in bodybuilding with his 310-pound frame and 6'1" stature. Known for his bold personality, honesty about steroid use, and unique methods, he won multiple NPC titles, including Mr. California. Piana passed away in 2017 at 46. Jay Cutler. This retired bodybuilder, Jay Cutler, became a legend through hard work and sheer size. Born August 3, 1973, he stood 5 9 inches and reached 310 pounds during the offseason. Known for winning 4 Mr. Olympia titles, his 22-inch arms and 58-inch chest made him one of the most unforgettable names in the sport's history. Big Ramy. Born on September 16, 1984, Mamdou Elspieh, better known as Big Ramy, has taken bodybuilding to a whole new level. At 5 10 inches and 310 pounds, this Egyptian athlete stands out with his massive frame and perfectly balanced physique. His hard work and passion have made him a legend in the bodybuilding world. Paul Dillett. At 6 1 inch and 320 pounds in his off-season, Paul Dillett was a force in bodybuilding. Known as Freakenstein, he once collapsed from dehydration during competition, but returned to the stage for years. Today, he runs the World Beauty Fitness and Fashion Competition, focusing on blending physique, stage presence, and marketability. Ronnie Coleman. Claiming 8 straight Mr. Olympia titles from 1998 to 2005, Ronnie Coleman is considered one of the greatest bodybuilders ever. Standing 5'11" and weighing up to 300 pounds during competition, he became famous for his massive physique and strength. His back and chest poses were among the best, and his training methods set him apart. Roly Winklar. This bodybuilder's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Born in Curacao in 1977, Roly Winklar overcame a near-fatal car accident in 2004 to become a force in bodybuilding. Known for his 24-inch arms and impressive size, the 5'9", 275-pound athlete made his pro debut in 2009 and quickly earned worldwide fame with millions of followers.
This guy claims he's a real-life Baki Hanma.
That is my goal. I'm trying to get strong like Baki.
And no one can argue that this guy's intimidating appearance, huge bulky muscles, and a cheeky smirk don't look almost identical to the protagonist of the hit anime series Baki. Even though anime physique may seem unachievable to many, this guy decided to prove everyone wrong and become one of the youngest powerlifters to gain such incredible build at only 23 years old.
I'm coming for the top 2. And I'm not gonna be 2.
He gained a huge and dedicated audience by posing like Baki and lifting insanely heavy weights to prove that anyone can look like their favorite character as long as they worked hard enough. However, as mind-blowing as he looks, not everyone believes his self-proclaimed natty status. In fact, many are convinced his muscles are juiced up and fake.
No, he's not natural.
But could this be true? Is the real-life Baki trying to fool us all? He finally addressed the rumors, and what he said shocked his viewers. You see, Jeffrey Gonzalez resembles Baki in many more ways than you think. Not only does he look just like the anime character, but he also has the same work ethics, because he also started training when he was just a kid.
If we want to get shredded, we gotta put in the work to get shredded.
He often mentions that he started powerlifting when he was only 14 years old, and that it took him more than 9 years to get to the physique he now has. He always dreamed of becoming Baki, and now that he finally reached that goal, he even got to meet his anime father, Yujiro Hanma, aka Logan Chipman.
My son, it's huge, bro. Brother. I get to see that. You too, man.
So that made him even more determined to keep pushing just like Baki did, until he was even stronger than Yujiro. In fact, when he was only 20 years old, he achieved a physique that many bodybuilders dream of, and his personal powerlifting records are simply mind-blowing.
700 deadlift, 600 squat, 500 bench. Easy.
That's just late for Baki.
But many are now wondering how that's even possible for a 23-year-old. They claim the only way he could get that big is if he was using steroids. But Jeff always claimed he was 100% natural. He even put it in his bio to try to get that narrative across. But that produced a counter effect because people started doubting him even more.
I don't think this guy's mad at you, bro. I am very, very confident.
However, after ignoring the accusations for so long, Jeffrey finally responded.
I'm here to say that I am an addy, bro.
He even became too defensive and started insulting everyone that doubted him.
Once you talk, always the ones who are just nowhere near your level. And It's all just envy. That's all it really is.
He claims the only reason he's so jacked is because he eats right and trains hard.
If you want to be a good powerbuilder, you gotta eat and follow a good diet.
However, some people still need a bit more convincing because they're just not buying anything Jeff says. 1000% juiced. What's sad is that he looks great, but the dishonesty is what makes him unattractive. But what do you guys think? Is the real life Baki actually natty?